U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd on October 8 announced plans to send the USS Gerald R aircraft carrier strike group to the eastern Mediterranean amid the escalating conflict in the Gaza Strip. This fleet includes the aircraft carrier USS Gerald R, the Ticonderoga-class guided missile cruiser USS Normandy, and 4 Arleigh-Burke-class guided missile destroyers USS Thomas Hudner, USS Ramage, USS Carney, and USS Roosevelt. Without doubt, this is the most powerful warship fleet in the world. In addition, the U.S. Central Command said the U.S. military has taken steps to augment U.S. Air Force F-15, F-16, and A-10 fighter aircraft squadrons in the region. The redeployment of U.S. forces in the area took place one day after Hamas armed forces launched a large-scale surprise attack on Israel, killing more than 1,000 people and injuring more than 2,000 others. The Israeli Defense Forces responded with a large-scale bombing campaign against Hamas targets in the Gaza Strip and mobilized hundreds of thousands of soldiers and heavy armor in preparation for a major offensive. USS Gerald R is the U.S. Navy's most advanced aircraft carrier. These are powerful warships which have long been used by the U.S. to display military power and for deterrence purposes. It is unclear to what exact location the U.S. aircraft carrier strike group will move. An Israel's Defense Force spokesman said the U.S. message behind the deployment of forces to Israel's coast is that any other militant group planning an attack on Israel should reconsider their efforts. That is a deterrent message sent to other armed organizations in the region in participating in the war in Israel. The Israeli Defense Force representatives' comments came in the context of sporadic gun battles between Israel and Hezbollah, a militant group in Lebanon believed to be allied with Hamas and also backed by Iran. The fighting that broke out in the past 2 days has raised concerns that Hezbollah could become more involved and open a second front in the context of Israel's fighting with Hamas, causing the crisis to escalate into a fierce conflict in the region and possibly drawing the U.S. into it. A spokesman for Hezbollah warned that if Washington intervened directly in the conflict, all U.S. assets could become targets. According to the Center for Strategic and International Studies, or CSIS, Hezbollah is considered the most powerful armed non-state organization in the world. Hezbollah possesses a huge arsenal of ballistic missiles, anti-tank and anti-ship missiles, as well as huge stockpiles of rockets. It is estimated that Hezbollah's missile arsenal could reach 130,000 shells. Hezbollah's possession of anti-ship weapons means that the U.S. warship group will pass through a dangerous, heavily defended sea in the journey to the eastern Mediterranean. Hezbollah has previously fired anti-ship missiles at Israeli forces. Targeting a U.S. aircraft carrier strike group could result in a serious escalation. Forces in the Middle East have fired on American warships before. This is a threat that American crews will need to take into account in any operations in this area. According to CSIS, one such capability is the C-802 medium-range anti-ship cruise missile, which was developed by China decades ago and sold to Iran, which later developed its own variant. It has a range of nearly 75 miles and a warhead that weighs nearly 365 pounds. Another missile is the Russian-developed Yakolt, which has a range of over 186 miles and a warhead that weighs 440 pounds. Hezbollah has fired anti-ship missiles at Israeli forces in the past. A senior U.S. defense officer warned Hezbollah forces in Lebanon not to open a second front against Israel amid Israel's conflict with Hamas. U.S. officials stated that one of the reasons why the U.S. deployed an aircraft carrier strike group to the eastern Mediterranean was to warn armed groups backed by Iran, including Hezbollah. They should not doubt America's commitment to supporting Israel's defense, the U.S. officer emphasized. Meanwhile, as tensions flare around Israel's border with Lebanon, the Israeli Defense Force is massing forces and heavy armor in what appears to be preparations for a major ground invasion. A spokesperson said on Monday that more than 300,000 reserve troops have been mobilized to northern and southern Israel as fighter jets continue to bombard Gaza, killing hundreds of Palestinians and injuring several thousand more. The Israeli military said it was carrying out one of its largest air strikes against Hamas in the Gaza Strip